Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of my Christmas park series here at the KD Adventures. Now we're already on episode 2, which means we are flying through December. I have finished this park, but I haven't edited all the videos yet, so I'm not sure how many episodes there will be, but I'm hoping to wrap this series up before Christmas Day. So if for some reason you're starting watching from the second episode, I am building the World of Winter, which is a Winter Wonderland style mini park. We've got roller coasters, flat rides, a big dark ride, an ice rink, and all the food and drink stalls too. In the last episode we built the car park as well as the entrance, as well as set the foundations for the park layout too. Today I'll be building that ice rink, and I'll also be building some of the food and drink stores around the ice rink too, adding some festive lights, adding in some more flat rides, be setting the layout for the big dark ride, and I'll also be building another 2 roller coasters. So yeah, a massive jam-packed episode this week. In fact, now that I've listed everything, I'm surprised I managed to squeeze all this down into 20 minutes. All this building took me hours and hours. But of course you won't want to sit through all of that. But yeah, for the next 20 minutes or so, a lot going on, and I'm excited for you to see the end result. But anyway, here we are building that ice rink. This was done using the white rectangle shape, and then just duplicating it a bunch of times, then using the wooden roof piece and making a walkway around the sides. Later on I'll be adding the footpath, but hiding it slightly under the roof piece, so it kind of looks like the guests are walking on that custom walkway that I've built. Now, as you can imagine, this isn't a working ice rink. Guests unfortunately won't be able to skate on this rink, so it's just for show. It would be great if Planet Coaster added this into the game at some point. I very much doubt it, but it would be really cool to see. In fact, it would be great to see Planet Coaster add any additional DLC packs. It's been a long time since they introduced a DLC pack. Maybe a Planet Coaster 2 is in the works, possibly. Fingers crossed, because that would be amazing. But yeah, this isn't a working ice rink, but it definitely makes the park look more Christmassy. And of course, it wouldn't be a Winter Wonderland without an ice rink. As well as adding the platform around the edges of the rink, I also added in some lit up arches. I think these were from the Vintage Park DLC pack. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I believe they're from the Vintage pack. And these go all the way around the ice rink, and if this was a real park, then they would look great if guests wanted to take photos. As well as that, I added in Christmas lights around the edges of the rink to really light it up and make it look super festive. So I'm going to leave you for a minute, but when I come back we'll begin building the next roller coaster in the park. Okay, so now the main ice rink is complete. I'll be adding more around the rink later on, but the main rink is now complete. So now we're on to building that second roller coaster in the park, which is a Wild Mouse coaster. Now, you usually find these coasters at these kind of parks. I'm pretty sure you have one at Winter Wonderland in London, but yeah, they fit into this kind of park really well. Wild Mouse coasters spin. In fact, as you'll see shortly, this one spins a lot. But at the same time, it's not super intense, so it'd still be suitable for most ages. And as I mentioned in episode 1, I won't be naming any roller coasters or the dark ride until the last episode, which I haven't yet recorded. So yeah, get your name suggestions down in the comments below, because I would love to hear them. Then in that last episode, I'll name them all, and we'll open the park up to the guests. If you enjoy Planet Coaster videos, I'll also leave a couple links down in the description below to some of my previous Planet Coaster videos, which I call the Recreation 1 Hour Challenge, and this is where I try and recreate some of my favourite real life coasters on Planet Coaster, but I only have a 1 hour time limit to try and make it as identical as possible. It's very hard, but it's also very fun to make, so I'll leave those links in the description if you want to check them out. But yeah, this coaster is almost complete. As I said, this one spins a lot, and I would personally love to ride this roller coaster if it was real. So yeah, let's hop on board this unnamed Wild Mouse coaster and have a ride. So there we go, happy with how this coaster has turned out. I've not built the station building just yet, same with the other coaster we built in episode 1. I'll be building those in one of the next episodes. However, you usually find at these smaller travelling parks that the stations are usually quite basic, so when I do build them, they won't be anything too special. But now we're on to building the layouts for the park's dark ride. So there is actually a slave dark ride in this game where you sit inside Santa's sleigh. Of course I was thinking about using this, but I've actually gone for something different, and something that I've never actually used in this game before. This is going to be an interactive shooting dark ride, similar to the likes of Duel, Toon Blaster, Men in Black Alien Attack, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. There's loads out there, and they're some of my favourite rides. So I wanted to put one of these in my park. So there's no official backstory behind this dark ride. You just kind of go around different festive scenes. There's a present room, a gingerbread room, a snowy forest, and a candy room. And each room has a bunch of targets which you shoot to score points. I'm just building the layout in this episode, but in the next episode I'll be adding in all the scenery and theming. Overall, it's quite a tame dark ride. Nothing too extreme happens in it, as it is a family ride. However, at the end I do include a big spin to finish off the ride, and I'll probably add in some different effects in there, like some mist or smoke. But yeah, that is what this dark ride is going to be, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you over the next few episodes. It's weird looking back on it at this stage now that I've almost finished with the theming and the scenery. In fact, it's weird looking back at the blank canvas of the whole park at the start of episode 1 compared to right now. It's come on quite a long way in just 2 episodes, and there's still plenty more to add. But yeah, everything's coming on very nicely now. Right then, on to building the stalls now. I've gone for those Oktoberfest looking building pieces, as this is usually the style that you get at Christmas markets. This side of the rink is going to be all food and drink. I'm not too sure if I'll be adding any other stalls to the other side yet, however this side is all food and drink. We have coffee and hot drinks, which is a must at all Christmas markets. We have soda and slushy, and we also have Chief Beef as well, which is a burger stall. So yeah, all the classics that you'd usually find at a Christmas market. This part takes me quite a while, so whilst I build this, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what's coming up on the channel. So yeah, as I mentioned in the last video, it has been a crazy time outside of the channel, all exciting stuff, but it means that the channel has been slightly neglected compared to my usual upload schedule. I don't know exactly what the future holds for the channel. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, but in terms of the content schedule and the style of content I'll be going for in 2023, I'm not too sure yet. There's a mix of my subscribers who come for these Planet Coaster videos, some that come for the vlogs that we do across all the different parks, and then some that watch for just my park tip videos that I do at home. When I started this channel, it was solely going to be for vlogs, Disney vlogs to be exact, but then COVID hit and then the direction changed completely. Then I made a video talking about Alton Towers, which hit around 130,000 views, which is of course huge, and now the majority of my subscribers come for that kind of content. So I'm not too sure what direction to go in currently, because I love vlogging, but I also just like talking about theme parks and sharing my tips. Next year is going to be a huge year for me. I can't go into too much detail yet, but it is going to be a huge one for me. And then in 2024 it's my wedding, and I'll finally be going back to Florida too. So yeah, a couple of massive years ahead. I'll be sharing everything I can here on the channel, but yeah, I'm just not too sure of a schedule yet and what style of content that I'll be sticking with in future. But no matter what though, I'll still be here bringing you all the theme park videos, and there's a lot going on in the theme park world currently, so I'm excited to share all the videos talking about absolutely everything. So yeah, if you are new around here, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. But yeah, that is where the channel is at currently, and as you can see now, the stalls are coming along very nicely. I'm going to leave you for a few minutes whilst I finish them off. But I'll leave you with some Christmas music to chill out to, and then I'll see you shortly, where we'll be building another coaster in this park. Right then, welcome back everyone. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. We're almost at the end of this jam-packed video. A lot has gone on and the park is looking very different to how it did at the start of the video. As I said, it took me hours and hours to build all of this, so squeezing it down to 20 minutes was very difficult. But I've tried my best to share everything with you, so you can see the full building process. And also, if you want to go away and build your own in the game, then you have some tips on what to do. But now I'm just adding in a few more flat rides to the back section of the park. I've included a carousel there, you've got that big wheel, a chair swing and dodgems too. All vintage style rides that you'd find at a travelling park. And now we're on to building another roller coaster. Now this is a family roller coaster, made for a whole family, not too intense at all, but it gives you great views from across the park. I thought it looked quite good as well, going around that back section of the park. It fits in quite nicely. In one of the last episodes, I'll be adding some lighting to that whole area too, and make it look super festive and Christmassy. I'm also going to need a name for this coaster too, so as well as the Wild Mouse, and as well as the Dark Ride, get your names for the family coaster down in the comments too. Or if you have any suggestions about theming and decorations I could add in this area, then let me know too. Obviously, being a Christmas park, festive names would be best, but yeah, I would love to know your ideas. Okay, so now we're just about finished building this new roller coaster in the park. It would be rude not to take a ride on it. Of course, once more scenery and lighting has been added, I'll do another POV, but that'll come in the final episode in this series. But for now, let's hop on board and take a ride on this new family roller coaster. Love it. I'm really happy with how that coaster's turned out. And as I said, there is more to be added, but the coaster itself, I'm really happy with. In fact, the park in general is looking really good, and there's still plenty more to be added over the next few episodes. We're coming to the end of the episode now. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Just adding in those pathways I mentioned at the start of the video. I actually raised the whole platform and rink up slightly. This was so that I could make the pathways go slightly under the platform, so when guests walk along the path, it looks like they're walking along the platform. Being such a small park, I can imagine when I do open it up, those pathways are going to be super busy, so that's why I'm splitting it off into different sections to try and make those paths not too crowded. And now I'm just adding in the scenery to the front of the shops. We have a few different food and drink stalls. And with this park being a day and evening park, I really wanted those shop signs to stand out really well in the dark too. That fluorescent gulpy sign, that will really stand out. And then when I add in all the lighting around that area later on, it will stand out even more. But yeah, coming to the end now, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Join me next week for episode 3, where we'll be building that Dark Ride. The episode will mainly focus on that. But then in future episodes, I'll be finishing off the rest of the park, and I'll also be adding in a final wooden roller coaster, which I want to go all around the back of the park. So yeah, stay tuned for that too. And as I said, this series will be leading up to Christmas, so to make sure not to miss any uploads, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Thank you all for watching this episode and series so far, and hopefully I'll see you next week for episode 3.